Welcome back, everyone, for this session on what is primary key and what is foreign key. So, what do you think a primary key is all about? We had been discussing a series of videos talking about entities, attributes, relationships, and we also touch based on primary key and foreign key in our last session. So, what do you think a primary key is all about? Okay, so a primary key is a column in the database table that uniquely identifies each row in a table. The primary key could be one column or combination of multiple columns. If it is a combination of multiple columns, we call it a composite primary key. And the main condition for the primary key is that it should be unique. The values have to be unique and not null. So if you remember, when we were identifying the entities, attributes, and relationships, we identified a primary key for each table. For example, for student, the student ID will be the primary key. For tutor, it is the tutor ID, session ID, and the payment ID. So just to repeat it again, primary key identifies the records in a table uniquely. And it could identify each row uniquely by having a key which is unique and not null. Now, coming to what is a foreign key then. Foreign key is used to establish relationships between tables. And a foreign key is a column in one table that refers to the primary key in another table. Okay, so now thinking about that, if you just look at the session table, we could see that you have tutor ID. This tutor ID is a foreign key which refers to the primary key here. So here we know that tutor ID is going to be the primary key in tutor table and it is going to be the foreign key in the session table. A foreign key can be null. A foreign key can have duplicates, but there is one restriction. Only the values that are there in your primary key column, only those values and null can be part of your foreign key column. For example, I have only tutor ID 1, 2, 3, 4. I cannot have a tutor ID 5 in my session table. When I try inserting a record with 5, it will throw this foreign key violation. So the tutor ID of session table is the foreign key of tutor ID in the tutor table. And when you do that, only the records in your primary key column can be part of your foreign key column. So this foreign key concept, it's called referential integrity. And using the primary keys and foreign keys, we can achieve relationship across tables. So just to give you the differences between a primary key and a foreign key. So when you talk about primary key and foreign key, primary key is uniquely identifying each record, and foreign key, it links one table to another. That is the purpose of your foreign key. And your primary key has to be unique, whereas your foreign key can have duplicate values, and your primary key cannot be null, but your foreign key can be null. Okay, and the ultimate purpose is to identify records in the table uniquely for a primary key. For a foreign key, the purpose is to enforce relationship between tables. Even if you see here the student ID in payment table, it is referring to the primary key student ID in the student table. Similarly, the session ID in payment table is a foreign key which points to the session ID primary key in the session table. A foreign key can reference a primary key and a unique key. I hope this is clear to you. This is just a short video to introduce you to the terms primary key and foreign key. I'll meet you again in the next video in which we are going to discuss about drawing the ER diagram for the online tutoring system. Keep supporting us, subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.